Imagine working 10 hours a day for 7 years straight. That has been my life till now, and I have no intention of slowing down. Waking up at 5 am, taking cold showers, and deleting social media, I have done none of those. The truth is, all these productivity hacks are just band aids on bullet holes. But what if I told you there was a different way? A way to work at your peak capability consistently for years on end without losing your mind. So in this video, I'm breaking down the real engine of consistent work. It is not about fancy routines, it is about something much more fundamental. I will be sharing 6 frameworks that has helped me do this for years. While talking about consistent work, most people will just talk about discipline and willpower, but they completely forget and neglect the other side of the coin. Although lower in priority, you absolutely have to schedule your cheat days and your breaks. You've heard it a million times that you need discipline, but here's the truth. Willpower is a limited resource. If you solely rely on willpower to get everything done, you will really quickly burn yourself out. And that is why I proactively schedule my breaks and my cheat days. Think of it like this. Your brain and your mind is like a race car, but you wouldn't drive a race car at full throttle with no rest, right? You will pit for maintenance and fuel. That is exactly how your brain works. Because let's be honest, if they are not planned, you will feel guilty for playing a game. If you are eating a pizza, you will feel guilty for that too. Now you don't want to feel bad because that loses your motivation. You always want to keep your motivation, keep your reward system very functional. That is why if I already scheduled 3 hours of gaming at a Friday night, I do not feel bad about it. I can plan about it and I can finish all the Friday work before it hits 9 p.m. I'm going to be very honest with you. You do not need to hack your brain or control your hormones to sit down and study or sit down and work. It is much more simpler than that. We are just making things more complicated so it feels like we are achieving something. While everyone is chasing some or the other productivity hack, the oldest productivity hacks in the book, the oldest sustainable hacks in the book are still the bread and butter of productivity. Working out and sleeping. And honestly, I personally have made this mistake. In college, I would pull all-nighter after all-nighter, living on Red Bulls and caffeine, but ultimately, in the long run, it did only harm to me. What I really do right now is prioritize my 7 to 8 hours of sleep every single day and working out, no matter how small, even if it's 30 minutes, even if it's a home workout, working out at least 4 to 5 times every single week. You see, these things are not nice to have. These things are essential. They are absolutely fundamental to keeping your brain fresh and at its highest capability. Because sleep restores your brain capability, exercise releases endorphins, reduces stress, and boosts cognitive function. Point number 3, the myth of balance. Thousands of ordinary days stacked together makes an ordinary life. If you want your life to be extraordinary, your day should reflect that. Even in our teenage and in our 20s, we are constantly being sold of this idea that you should balance your work and your life. And honestly, when you're in your 20s, when you're a teenager, you don't really have a life or responsibility. You can call your partying and you're going out and you're wasting time your life, but that is not the truth. If you want an extraordinary life, any extraordinary person that you know or any extraordinary world leader that has ever existed was working day and night while they were in their 20s. But everyone keeps telling us to find the balance, while the truth is, if you want something extraordinary, if you want to do something exceptional, you have to sacrifice something, be it hanging out with friends, be it playing games, or be it some kind of sport, or be it a little bit of sleep. Although that is not recommended, ideally sacrifice something else, but you have to sacrifice something because you have to garner some amount of time out of your day and put it all into this. I personally have made conscious decisions about what I want to prioritize and what I can let go of. That might be social events, a little bit of social life, or a little bit of gaming time, because I cannot have it all and neither can you. You have to pick and choose and prioritize. Now I want to talk about a particular problem that you will face after you have gained the capability of sitting down for 10 hours every single day. You will realize that not every day is the same. Even though you're sitting down for 10 hours, 8 hours every single day, you are not getting much work done. You are just getting the work of 2 hours or 3 hours. It is not about the time that you sit down, it is about the execution and the outcome. And the outcome is most dependent on not your consistency, not your discipline, not your work ethic. It is all dependent upon how clear you are about your work. Do you know exactly how much you need to do today? Do you know exactly what you're going to achieve by doing that? And do you know how exactly it moves the needle towards the bigger goal that you are chasing? Because here is the problem. This is something that I used to do for a very long time, because I have been working 8 to 10 hours every single day, but initially I was not getting much done. Then I realized that I'm taking the work of ideation and execution simultaneously. While I'm doing the work, I'm also thinking, is this the right thing to do? What will I do next? What will I do tomorrow? That, my friend, is the wrong approach, because if my brain is constantly switching between execution and ideation, it can never get into a flow state, never completely go into one of those tasks. That is why you have to take your time, take as much time as you need, take a whole day to ideate your game plan for the next month or the next week. And once the ideation is done, turn your brain off and just focus on sheer execution. Do not even think about what you're going to do tomorrow. Whatever you are doing right now is relevant or not, whether this is the right thing to do. Do not question your plan while executing, because you have already put in the time, put in dedicated time for the ideation purposes. That is why every Sunday I'll sit down and make a very rough idea about the main 3 or 4 tasks that I need to take care of throughout the week, every single day. And every single night I will also write down the exact things that I have to go through, exact tasks that I need to get done the next day, so that the next day I wake up, the first hour is not wasted by thinking, oh, I need to do this, I need to do that. That is the least optimal way of using your mornings, because in the mornings your brain is fresh. You have to use that freshness into something productive or something creative. I personally use my own Notion template to strategize, plan and execute everything in my life, both my professional and my personal lives. Imagine having a goal setter, a to-do list, monthly task calendar, personal finances, workout routines, complete templates for college students and content creators, and so much more within one single template. If you are interested, there is a link in the description below. You can check it out while we are moving on to the next point. Point number 5, the power of proximity. While internal motivation is much more powerful and long-lasting compared to external motivation, there is one type of external motivation that can overpower any internal motivation, because it plays against your ego. You might have heard the quote that you are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. It is cliche, but it is absolutely true. That is why I always try to surround myself with harder working people. See, I was a normal kid in a new college, having a good time, having fun, playing games and wasting a lot of time during my first semester of college. But once I met my best friends in the second semester of college, we all started spending more time together, and we all motivated each other to work much harder during the second year of our college. Out of nowhere, we are all on HackerRank, trying to do competitive programming, learning DSA, and also trying to make money doing some business or something smaller by the side. Now, these were not planned at all. Just because we were together, we were around each other, and everyone was hustling, everyone was doing something other than their courses. We all were making more money, we were making more progress, and we were also elevating our skills without even thinking about it, without thinking about motivation, because it plays with your ego. When you are surrounded by 5 hardworking people, you will feel bad. It will hurt your ego to not do anything. It will hurt your ego if you are just playing games on your weekends. And although practically ego might be a bad thing, you can play it in your favor to make yourself work harder. Now, the biggest problem with all of the frameworks and mindsets shared in this video is that none of them will work overnight. Some of them will take weeks, some of them will take months, and some of them will take multiple months to get into your system and to show results. But once they get into your system, they would last a lifetime. Most people will just focus on short-term goals and burn themselves out. I look at my life like a marathon. There are small sub-sprints, small sub-quests, but I am always focusing on making some progress, no matter how small, making some progress every single day towards the goal that I have. And I'm running it like a marathon so that I can sustain it, I can take care of my body, I can take care of my mind, and I can still keep running. This means being patient, consistent, and focused on building sustainable habits. I understand that progress isn't linear, there will be ups and downs in your life, but by focusing on the long-term vision, I can keep myself motivated for longer and not be discouraged by the temporary setbacks. Now, these 6 frameworks are not magic bullets, but they have, over the years, been my fundamental that has built my ability to work 8 to 10 hours or even more every single day consistently for years without burning out. Now, consistency might not be your problem. Your problem might be completely different. Like, I cannot find the time, bro. How do I find enough time so that I can build something on the side? If that is a problem, here is a video where I talk about how I make time for everything while working a full-time job.